Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Doodle 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 doo. Ba, ba, ba. Let's turn this down for myself. Hopefully it sounds okay. 15%? I think 15% is okay. That should be fine. Okie doke. So let me set up. So we'll need to reply to a load of comments first. So let me set that up. So that's the windowed one. So that's window capture. So I don't want that. I want. Let's see. There we go. Window capture. Is this blank new tab? Perfect. Just what I needed. There we go. Nope. One. Comments. If I turn this up to maximum volume, I can't tell if it's picking up the audio. It doesn't wavelength. Okay, it looks like the audio's music's being picked up, which is good. Question is, what is the next song? It should be okay. Hopefully my voice is loud enough in comparison. Right, let's get this up and rolling. You can go down. And I think we are good to go. Let's keep this up. All right, so first things first, what I want to do is reply to a bunch of comments because it's been like, I think a month since I've replied to any comments at all. I've been super busy with traveling and work. So let's do some comments. Perfect. Now, I think this one is actually probably a spoiler. I don't think I can click on this one, so I have to do this one last. You know what? I've clicked on it, it said spoilers. I shouldn't have. Okay, this guy says he hates One Piece on the "Why does everyone hate One Piece" video. But why? Is there is it too long? Question mark. Because most people I find when they say One Piece is horrible and terrible is because it's just too long. People can't be bothered to get into a long ass series of, 100 volumes and 1,000 episodes and over 1,000 chapters. What is it? It's on chapter 145. It's ridiculous. How could people expect it to go from nothing to reading the whole thing? Yeah, I'm interested to see what people say, because it's not, at the end of the day, I don't think it's for everyone. I'm not too sure if I could personally recommend it. I think it's one of those things that everyone should try it, and if they enjoy it, then I think they're in it for the long run and they'll just continue watching it. If they don't like it within the first, I think even 50 chapters is like Barati, so even that is probably difficult for some people to get through, especially by today's standards anyway. This was the only way to read One Piece video, which I think is true. There's no other way to read One Piece other than watching it on, reading it on the digital website. So he likes my content. I don't think I'd make great content, to be honest. I just kind of make things that I enjoy. Thanks, dude. I just make things I like. Glad you enjoyed. Smiley face. And this is another one. I've had quite a few people message me saying they hate One Piece, and then they double down and say, no, I don't actually hate One Piece. It's one of my favorite series. Heard me in the first half. Glad you like One Piece. Fave character? Question mark. Where is... There you are. Next. Oh, this is a pretty long one. So you dropped the manga at volume 2 a few years ago, but today I thought... I don't know. I think a lot of people go through Blue Exorcist and say the similar thing. I think because it comes out monthly, people kind of fall off quite easily. Whilst with a weekly series, you can keep reading it. But if it was a few years ago, I think it's on volume 27 now, I think. A lot of people have given it a thumbs up as well. I'm glad you picked the series back up. It's underrated, in my opinion. Since the manga continued in May, did it have a hiatus? Continue in May? Question mark. Is the manga on hiatus? How do you spell hiatus? HIATUS. I'm glad this long video got. I'm glad this got at least one person to check it out. Thanks. Great video. This was on the 60 days only reading digital manga thing that I did. I didn't actually spend 60 days. I think I spent more than 60 days, but you know, 60 days was a round number. I was going to do 30, but it was definitely over 30. Bum, bum, bum. Let's go for this one. This video deserves more views. I don't know if it does. How many views does it have? 900, which is a lot more in comparison to subscribers that I have. I've got 55 likes. I think that's more than enough, if you ask me. In contrast to my, in comparison to my subscribers that I have, I think 910 is a phenomenal amount of views. Oh, wrong one. Let me undo that one. This video deserves more views. Let me reply. Thanks. Oh, thanks. But compared to my sub count, this has more than enough views for me. Glad you enjoyed the video. Reply. So Hell's Paradise is going to restock. Hopefully it does, because I am missing. It's not on view at the moment. So hopefully they'll get. I think I'm at volume 3. Let me have a quick check. Amazon doesn't do a great job of stocking things. I think they use stock compared to what they have for their American stock as well, because sometimes they'll say things are going to be delivered in like April, which is like 2 months after America get it, but sometimes in stores they already have them, so I don't know where they get their stock from. 4 is available, 5 is not available. But it is available. Would you look at that? What about 6? 6 and 7 were out of stock for a while. The 6 is out of stock. I could probably pick up 5 soon then. 7, nowhere to be seen. To be fair, this is just Amazon. There's other websites you can check. I know Forbidden Planet doesn't have any at the moment. I was there quite recently, and I was only able to pick up volume 4, which I believe was in terrible condition. Hope so. I'm stuck on volume 3 and then need 5 onwards. Have you read? Question mark. Where is the Japanese Centre in central London? This is from my foreign manga collection. The Japanese Centre that I went to, I don't think it's there anymore. Japanese Centre. This is the website. But let's find, where are we? Store Finder. So that's in Piccadilly Circus, and I believe it originally... I think it was somewhere down here. Either way, it's not moved too far away, which is the main thing. So they're open every single day, pretty late as well. They sell a load of Japanese sweets. They sell Japanese ramen, general ingredients. They also do a lot of crockery and cutlery, like chopsticks and ramen bowls, that kind of thing, and woks as well. Yeah, it's pretty nifty. All the staff are Japanese as well, which is really good. When I used to go there, I was studying Japanese, and yeah, it was quite fun to go in there, ask for certain items, or just have general conversations with them. Especially when you went to the till, they would ask you, "Was everything to your satisfaction?" You say yes. Was there anything you couldn't find? You say no. I was also looking at this. You could just get general conversation from them. They weren't particularly into like weeby culture, but for the most part, it was an enjoyable experience. They had a nice selection of magazines as well, and well, not a lot, but they had a load of manga, mostly Shonen Jump though. Where is this? Wood Lane. Where the hell was Wood Lane? Let me just copy and paste the address. It's round the corner from Piccadilly Underground Station. Address. Board Hitman, how's it going? How's your day going? Oh, also, I read Drifting Dragons, by the way. Very good, very enjoyable. I wasn't too sure how I felt about the dragons being killed and then eaten. Kind of makes me feel sad in a way, but it's really good. So I've read the first 2 volumes. I'm going to be picking up volume 3, hopefully soon in the next couple of weeks. But I am looking forward to it. I know there's an anime as well, but the art is just so beautiful. I also love how they go through the process. It almost becomes like a cooking series, a cooking manga at the end of each chapter, which is really interesting. And I've noted some of the recipes down. I might try some. Not that I can cook dragon or anything. How are things going? Things are going okay. I've been really busy. I shopped. I went to Forbidden Planet. I think that there's 9 Forbidden Planets in the UK, and I went to every single one recently. So I've been very busy with that, and yeah, work's just keeping me busy. Another Wednesday at work. Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah, Drifting Dragons is really good. I'm going to be continuing it. Yeah, I've been pretty busy, and I've kind of been neglecting a lot of comments. I'm just going through a load of comments that I've got outstanding that I keep getting emails on saying that you haven't replied to this person, and more keep coming through. So I need to reply to people. Otherwise, people will just not engage and bother coming back. This is the address. It's moved since I last visited, but from the site, all looks the same. 100% recommend going! Exclamation point. The reason you gave for drawbacks is absolutely true. What was my drawbacks? It's hard to linger on a digital page. Yeah, I think when I'm on my phone, I just tend to just swipe through so many apps. I got that zoomer brain in the last since lockdown, since like the past couple of years. Yeah, and the zoom thing is really frustrating as well. Why isn't it? There we go. The zoom was the most frustrating part of reading. Yeah, it's hard because I work 9 till 5. By the time I finish, and although I'm very fortunate to work from home, by the time I finish, I don't always get a chance to go straight into my laptop. I have to cook, then clean, if I want to see family or friends, that kind of thing. And whenever I check it on my phone, I've got fat fingers, so I can't always reply on my mobile. It's very difficult. And I always make spelling mistakes, but I do read them. And I think to myself, I'll come back to it later. And then later turns into tomorrow, next week, next month. And before you know it, I'm 2 weeks behind at the moment. I think I'm around, what's this? This is, yeah, around 4 weeks. This was over a month because it's a pretty big one. I've never had time to sit down and answer it. But yeah, it is difficult. But yeah, if I wasn't working, then I would be more inclined to be more active. But yeah, digital manga, definitely the zooming is the most frustrating part for me. And also just flicking from, if I'm reading a manga series that I'm not particularly interested in, or it's kind of boring, it's a boring chapter, I tend to just flick over to another social media website, like, I don't know, Twitter or Instagram, or just go back on YouTube. I think tablet is the way to go if you're reading digital. Are comics that much bigger? Are comics that much larger than standard manga volumes? Question mark. Manga swag. Well, what's this mean? Publicly subscribe to you. What does that mean? Publicly. Does that mean? Ah, so they haven't said. I think I've got mine set to private, so you don't know if I'm sub to you or not. The blown effect is really popular in the 90s. Is it now? I don't have much knowledge of Western comics. Got any examples? Reply. This is always the most awkward one. When people say that they're new to manga collecting, they've hit my channel up. I have no idea how people are just getting into manga and finding a small itty bitty channel like myself and coming to me for suggestions. Because one, I don't have a huge backlog myself of recommendations, but two, I don't know. I feel like no, I don't know. Maybe I guess speaking to a smaller creator feels more personal, but and speaking to a larger creator kind of feels like you're speaking into the void. So the larger in the sense of dimensions. So he mentions, where was it? He says that he doesn't understand why it's rare to have manga volumes compared to your average American comic. So how big are they normally then? Because the standard ones are like, I'm reading Dragon Ball at the moment, but your standard ones are like this, which is kind of like just your standard Shonen Jump series. And then you have series like Golden Kamuy, who are like, they're slightly bigger. And then you have like the hardbacks, like no, even the hardbacks. I'm looking at a copy of Vinland Saga, and even that is the same size as Golden Kamuy. How much bigger could comics be? I haven't bought a comic since, you know, a long time ago. I think the last comic I had was Sonic the Hedgehog. It's been ages. It's more approachable. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you kind of maybe feel like you're going to get more of a response if you talk to a smaller creator. Much like yourself, you're talking to me and I can straight away talk to you. If I had, I don't know, 1,000 people in here, I'd be unlikely to reply to one person, let alone anyone. So like Vinland Saga, but taller. Okay. Maybe next time I go to a comic book store, I will check out one of the comics, because they do have a massive comic collection where I am. But yeah, when I'm talking to someone who's new, it's really difficult because you need to know what they like. You know, they could just like romance, in which case I have a very small knowledge of romance series. But also, it depends on if you enjoy the visual aspect. This guy seems to like the visual aspect more than anything. What does it mean by drive me on a very aesthetic manga journey? Love from India. I don't know how to reply to this one. I was going to say, I have a friend who collects comics. Well, not anymore. But when he would buy them, they would just be single chapters. So like really thin pieces of paper, like maybe 20 pages. So you're more into the collector's versions, which I presume is like the equivalent of like a manga volume or something. Yeah, I don't know how to reply to this one then. My manga knowledge is small in comparison to many. Yeah, they're very tiny. But then I guess it's, you know, I guess over time, depending on how long the series is, if you're going to collect the chapters, if you're only going to have a few chapters, then sure, it's going to take up less space. But over time, depending on how long it goes on for, it could potentially take up a lot of space, right? Do you have anything rare, by the way? Like, how long have you been collecting them? So I know since Marvel has become a big thing, all the movies, a lot of like the original prints, the first editions, not the first edition, but the first like few chapters, they've been going up in price quite a lot. Although to be fair, I think they've been going up for years, but I think Marvel was just the movies kind of have a new audience, a lot of younger people getting involved, and people in their early 20s, in their early 30s. I think I'm going to note this one down and I'll come back to him because I'll have to, when people ask me recommendations, I'm not very good on the spot. This guy liked Marshall more than he thought. I was exactly the same. I wasn't expecting to laugh as much. Most shonen series, I kind of just read it and consume it. I enjoy the fights. I enjoy the passion of the main characters. But all the story beats are always the same. But Marshall just hits different. Makes me laugh a lot. Yeah, some have gone into like the hundreds of thousands. Hundreds and thousands. To be fair, it wouldn't surprise me if some of them have gone into the hundreds of thousands. Do they ever re-release, like, for example, Superman Chapter 1 or Iron Man Chapter 1? Can you, or Issue 1, should I say? I think they call it, don't they? Issue 1. Will they ever reprint those? Do they ever, like, even if they maybe not reprint them into a single chapter, but they ever reprint them into like a collection or anything? Yeah, I mean, if you're collecting since 2010, that's still 10, 12 years ago, even if it is on and off. And what may not be worth a lot of money now, potentially be worth a lot of money in the future. No, I didn't mean to click. Go back. See, this guy's talking my language. Same. Whenever I get to a boring chapter, I tend to swipe over to Twitter/YouTube. The worst thing is it is autopilot as well. Also, they'll reprint some of the older stuff, because if I want to just get into Marvel or I don't know, DC, I want to read like the first Batman or something, Detective Comics. Surely there's got to be a way that I can read the original series. Whilst with manga, they've always got in print for the most part, volume 1 up until the most recent one, whether it be singles or omnibuses. But with comics, because they reset the universe quite often, especially with superhero stuff, it makes me wonder, like, is it like you purchase it and then that's it? It's gone forever. You can never get it again. Other reprints happen occasionally. Yeah, I think because of the pandemic, everything's kind of stopped, hasn't it? Not really much else is everything's kind of slowing down production for everything. Lack of paper, lack of resources, not just books, but computer parts like GPUs, CPUs, very hard to come by, because not only PCs but game consoles and TVs and cars, they need that as well. Just everything. Crazy world we currently live in. Wish they made 3-in-1s? They might do. Most comic stores I've been to as of late always have stocks OPM in stock. But maybe in the Future. Three in ones. Great series. So what do you mean by indie stuff? You like independent creators? Ah, okay, I understand. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, most of my knowledge for comic books is all mainly just superhero and Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh, and The Walking Dead as well. That's pretty much all my knowledge. Ah, okay. I guess that's how I kind of feel with a lot of manga at the moment. You know, especially series like One Piece, where if you're born in the last 10 years or even 15 years, you're turning 8 to 15 years old, and you're starting to get into this kind of thing. You've got such a backlog to go through, and it's even potentially worse for comic books because they're so much older. A lot of the series you can obviously get manga series that are 70s and 80s, but I know when did Batman first come about? I don't even know. So the character debuted in 1939. Blair, how's it going? How's your evening? How's your morning? How's your afternoon going? So yeah, if you want to get into things like Batman, that's like that's a crazy amount of backlog you got to go through. Yeah, 80 years old. That's ridiculous. But then I guess they've got to make it so people can just jump in at any point and kind of get to grips with the current story sort of thing. I guess that's why they probably reuse a lot of the characters in every single when it comes to superheroes anyway. Oh, you just finished Chainsaw Man? How did you find it? I recently just finished it myself. I finished the first 9 volumes. Volume 10 has come out in America. It's not out in the UK just yet. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I kind of stayed away from it because of the hype around it. I'm not great when it comes to manga that's hyped up. I always feel like I'm going to get let down. But the last 2 that have done it, Chainsaw Man and Attack on Titan, I jumped in and I loved every second of them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed Chainsaw Man. And looking forward, well, hopefully you can uh, get the rest of the volumes and continue. Because the anime is going to start soon. Read the standalone stories for Batman. What about things like the Arkham Asylum? Because obviously there's a lot of video games about that. Is that like its own thing as well? Is that like its own story? Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed the first volume. Yeah, it is very exciting. It's really gripping. I think it leaves on a little bit of a cliffhanger as well, the end of the volume. Um, volume 2 kind of wraps up the bad guy that they're fighting at the end of volume 1. But yeah, no, it's really interesting. And I think it's really quick. It does a good job of like hitting the beats really quickly. It doesn't linger on for too long. But yeah, it gets pretty brutal as well. Yeah, I mentioned my friend who collects chapter. He's collected a few chapters. He has, well, like his birthday and Christmas. He's also been given big volumes, which I presume are just all in one chapters and all-in-one stories, like from beginning to end. Does anything like continue over? Like, you know how like in most manga, like it's a continuing story throughout all of the volumes for the most part. But do they ever reference events that have happened in previous chapters or volumes or anything? Oh, the games are like their own thing. I guess they've reused some of the most of the characters. Because off the top of my head, I can only think of, well, let's say Batman. I can only think of like five villains in Batman. You love my content? Thanks. I don't feel like I make great content. I kind of just make things that make me happy. But no, that your words are much appreciated. Very kind. It's things like that that allow people to keep going and making content. But yeah, I'll keep making videos. I don't know if I deserve a lot more recognition, but thank you. Go enjoy Volume 2. Enjoy. Alright, let me finish this off. Did I reply? I replied. And I want to say his name's Josh. I have him on Instagram. Shown in trash. For some reason, I feel like his name is Josh. Yes, Josh. I have him on Instagram. Ah, okay. I guess as long as they're like self-contained, as long as the event is interesting enough, they don't really have to keep referring back to previous events and things like that. But is that the same for like other superhero movie comic books as well? Oh, you read Zelda 2. Right. I think that is done for the comments. There's a couple that I didn't reply to. One's a spoiler. This was pretty long. I kind of got to put my head into it. And there was another one that I didn't reply to. But I'll get back to those at some point. Yo! For some reason, the chat doesn't work all the time. Let me... There we go. Let's do transform. Edit transform. Where are we? Size. Is this going down? I can't tell. No, it's going up. Let's do 1,000. 100. But I don't want it to shrink. There we go. Let's put on real quick this for now. Bang. All these bigger companies are getting a monopoly on everything, to be honest. Um, Disney, Google, especially Amazon, picking up everything. Facebook is a big one as well. Before you know it, some big company will just buy them all out, and then that'll be it. All right, studio mode done. Top mode, perfect. All right, let me go for Marvel Unlimited. £8 a month. That's a lot. Man. And some people pay for TV licenses as well. And Netflix. And they want to read comic books and manga online. There's just not enough money in the world for everything. I'll have a look. Because to be honest, I've not read many comics in the last X amount of years, but I have watched a lot of action hero movies. And I've been told Walking Dead is very good. And that the comics are just as good. All right. Let me move this stuff. So recently, I took a trip to Forbidden Planet. Not just one, but I took a trip to all 9 in the UK. It took me 3 days, 2.5 days really. I started around 12 o'clock on Friday and I finished at 5 o'clock on the Sunday. And I picked up around nearly 60 volumes of manga, so I just need to show those off real quick because I don't think I'll put them into a proper manga haul, and I don't think I'll put them into the Forbidden Planet video that I want to make. Thanks, dude. I'll look into it, and yeah, you can tell me what's worth reading, what's not. Especially online, because I don't think I can afford any more space for comics. Or in my wallet either. Alright, so most of the stuff that I collected was just trying to shrink the gap and get up to date with all the series that I currently have. Things like One Punch Man, Chainsaw Man, Dragon Ball Super. A lot of shonen stuff because that's pretty much all I was collecting like 10 years ago. So I still got all the stickers on there. So I purchased One Punch Man Volume 2 and 23, and I believe this is the most up to date. I don't think there's anything after that. I don't think 24 is available yet in English. And I got Dragon Ball Super 10, 13, and 14. This one I couldn't find in most of the stores. I think this was the only one that there was out of all 9 stores. Pretty much Dragon Ball Super and even Dragon Ball, the omnibus editions, they were all kind of available. But this one was really rare. I couldn't find it at all. Well, I'm currently reading Dragon Ball Z at the moment, so hopefully I can catch up soon. Get up to date with Super. $60's a lot? Yeah. I think it's 60. I'm not too sure. I have to double check. I'm not great with counting. And then I picked up Spike's Family. I got Volume 1 for Christmas and Volume 2 as well. And I know the anime is going to be starting soon. And I remember reading the first like 3, 4 chapters online. This was very, very funny. So I picked up 3, 4. What is this? That's 5 and 6. And I think America just got Volume 7 last week, I think. Sadly, in the UK, we have to wait a very, very long time. And then I got Burn the Witch. I have not read Bleach in many years, but I really enjoyed Burn the Witch. I don't know if he's going to be continuing this series at all or make it into something special, but it's something unique. I really like his art style. And yeah, I think it's a simple story. If you're a fan of Bleach, I think you're going to enjoy this as well. It's sealed, so I couldn't see if it's all complete. I don't think there was that many chapters. I think there was only 10 chapters. But yeah, hopefully, well, it says Volume 1, so I presume there'll be a Volume 2. So not only did I want to try and get to visit all 9 Forbidden Planets, but I also wanted to try and read Chainsaw Man. But I only had 4 volumes at the time. So I managed to pick up volume 5, 6, and 9 all on the first day, which was great. I had volumes 1, 2, and 3, which I read on the Friday. And then I had volumes 4, and then I needed to find 5 and 6 for Saturday, and then I was going to read 8, 9, and 10. And I had 8 and 7. Sorry, 7, 8, 9. I had 7 and 8 already, and I needed to find 9. So these 3 I managed to pick up and I purchased. So I was pretty happy with that. And then I ended up finishing the series within like 24 hours, including traveling and sleeping. Probably, I don't know, 6 hours, 7 hours. I read the whole series over the course of 24. And then I picked up volume 1 of Undead Unluck. For the longest time, I didn't enjoy reading this series. I just thought it was kind of, I don't know, crass and crude. The main character, Andy, he's like fondles the girl here. Sort of Fuko. He fondles her a lot, touching her boobs, touching her skin and stuff. So I thought it was kind of weird. But then it got really good. And by the time I started getting interested in it, volume 1 was out of print, and well, not out of print, out of stock, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I didn't pick up volume 2 and volume 3, and now I've been able to pick up volume 1, but I can't find any of the other volumes. But nonetheless, I will be on the hunt. And annoyingly, I purchased volumes 3 and 4 of Martial Magical Muscle. They did have volume 5 in one shop, but I didn't pick it up because I thought because it's the newest volume, they'll have more in the next shops. So I picked up another volume that I knew was pretty rare. So I picked up that, and then I think this was the 3rd or 4th store that I went to that I saw volume 5 of Magical Muscle, and then that was it. It was just the one volume out of the 9 stores I tried to get to. That was the only volume that they had, and I put it back. I should have picked it up. And then because Forbidden Planet is really mainly, it's got an abundance of shonen series. So most of it I already had. So I went into some stores and there was nothing that I really wanted, but I did recently pre-order volume 13 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I thought if I've got 13, I need the rest. So I got volume 0, 1, 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I almost picked up volume 13 as well. I'm lucky I didn't, because obviously I'd pre-ordered that. But there's still a few more that I need to collect. And I've looked online and they're all available. They just weren't in the stores when I needed them. Yeah, Undead Unluck really does have a horrible first chapter. I wasn't too sure how I felt, and even the chapters after that, I feel like Andy's really hands-on, and I don't know. I didn't see where the series was going. It was more like I don't know, just he wanted to kill himself, and she also wanted to kill herself, and then he kind of just uses her to try and kill himself, although we know it's not going to happen. But then they're being chased by a bunch of people, and then they get taken into the organization, and it just becomes a strange series. But once they got into the organization of like other negators, I started to enjoy it a little bit more. I think maybe because it became more like battle shonen sort of thing. Yeah, and it kind of just what I'm used to, and I think it became pretty good, interesting after that. But it's kind of slowing down a little bit now, although I'm not too sure. But yeah, is it Seal, the main guy, the main evil guy at the moment now? He's pretty interesting. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I think when volumes start selling well, I can only imagine the editors in Japan are just like, yeah, no, we can't let this finish. Because Marshall recently had that. He came out and said, oh, it's only going to be going on for a couple of years. And he then put a note, he put a message, I think a couple of months ago, saying that, oh, yeah, just to let you know, it's going to continue on for a little bit longer. So what felt like when it was coming to the end, Marshall is now just going to continue. And I don't know. I don't know where it'll go. I feel like it could have ended perfectly the last couple of chapters, but I'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it doesn't end up like Attack on Titan, where you're forced to continue because the sales are really good, and then the story just, I don't know, goes a different way to what the creator originally wanted. Unlike something like One Piece, where Oda said it was only going to last 5 years, and he just kept adding more and more into it, not because the editors wanted it, because he had so many new ideas. I think it's quite a popular thing now to have smaller series, like 5 to 20 volumes. Demon Slayer, for example, where they have a nice, tight, cohesive story. And it just, I feel like the longer they go on, sometimes they just get convoluted, don't they? And then I think 2020, I was going to give my younger brother, who was I think 10 at the time, I was going to give him Comey Can't Communicate, but then we went into lockdown and we couldn't see our families. And then the year after, I didn't give it to him. I kind of just kept it. And now it's sitting on my shelf. I decided to pick up volume 2. And then I also managed to pick up volume 3 and 4 just because they were there. Similar to Jujutsu Kaisen, I just picked it up just because I knew 1 and 2 were in my collection. And I had pretty much everything else that was in the store. And then I've had this one for a long time, Nisekoi. I've had volumes, I think up to 14 I have, or 16. And I haven't seen this in stock for such a long time. And then suddenly they're all everywhere. So I've got volumes, what's this, 17, 19, 20 and 25. And 25, because it's the last volume, it's so thick in comparison. It's beautiful. What was interesting is when I look at the back, it says $6.99. If I take my, no, this one doesn't actually have it. At $6.99 UK pounds, and in dollars it's $9.99. Actually, if I take my Dragon Ball series that I'm currently reading, this is $7.95 US dollars. So from, when was this published? This was published, this is the second print in 2005. So in, and when was this printed? 2016. So in 11 years, it's gone up by $2. That's crazy. And then if you compare it to Marshall, oh wow, that's crazy. So Marshall was, this only got released I think late last year or early this year, and it's still $9.99, which is the same as the 2016 series, but it's gone up in pounds. So it's gone up from $6.99 in pounds to $7.99, which is a little bit annoying, but it's still interesting to see how inflation has affected the price of manga. Yeah, I think shorter series are so much. I've really started to appreciate shorter series a lot more. Not the ones that get cancelled, ones that actually have a nice beginning, middle, and end. They tell a proper story. See, I was looking into getting into Haikyuu because the anime was like really, really popular, and I haven't read. I've watched a lot of sports anime, but I've not read a lot of sports manga. But I heard it's even though it's 45 volumes, I've heard it's still a pretty tight story. I think Jujutsu Kaisen is what's Jujutsu? I think Jujutsu Kaisen is currently on 16 or no 17 or 18 in Japan, maybe 19. I don't think it will go on much longer, but I guess it depends. I mean, Demon Slayer kind of was already towards the end of its run when the anime was coming out. So I don't think they had time to say, yeah, keep it going. But Jujutsu Kaisen might potentially. It kind of got the anime midway through the series, so it could potentially still continue on a little bit longer. But I don't think anything will be anywhere close to like Case Closed or Detective Conan or One Piece anymore. Naruto, Bleach, hitting those like 70s and 80s. I don't think they'll do stuff like that. The current editor of Jump is quite. I don't think he's come out and said it, but since he's come into play a few years ago, a lot of series have been nowhere near that kind of volume level, which I think is good. It's good for our wallets because we can't keep spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds and dollars every month on the newest series for every series that comes out. And then I also collect Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I watched the anime several years ago. I think it's probably only a couple of years ago. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really interesting. A few people have recommended it. And it was kind of there again. By the time I got to this particular store, I had pretty much everything that I needed. So I needed to pick up something new. So I just picked up this. But unfortunately, these are pretty hard to come by, a lot of them. So kind of moving away from a lot of the shonen stuff, I then picked up Die Dark, who is by the same author of Dorohedoro. This is a great, it's not, I wouldn't call it horror, but it's a dark sci-fi fantasy series. And the comedy that comes along this is ridiculous. If you've read Chainsaw Man, that's kind of like a dark fantasy series. It's like a ramped up version of Demon Slayer in a way, because they're kind of demons and everything. And this is very similar, but there's so much more comedy. The main character is so nonchalant about dying, and his band of friends that he has just all bounce off each other. And he has this dog that controls his ship, and it talks to him and makes sure everything's clean. It's super funny. Anyways, the main character, Sanko, I think his name is, he's a young boy, and if you collect his bones, it's prophesized that you will be granted any wish. So you have loads of people coming from all across the galaxy to come and find him, to kill him so they can take his bones. So he's just out there protecting himself, killing people, and he takes their bones and he sells them and he uses it to buff up his ship and go different places, buy new materials and stuff. It's so funny. I read this as well in like one day, one train journey, I'm pretty sure. I think I was going from Liverpool to Newcastle, and I read it all in one day. It was amazing. I loved every second of it, and I can't wait for the next volume. Also, there's some really nice color pages. Upsets me that a lot of Viz media, their standard stuff that comes from Shonen Jump, just doesn't have any color pages. Upsets me. Yeah, I picked up volume 1 of Dorohedoro as well. It's down here. But that was literally the only volume that they had. Nothing else was in stock. So not that I regret picking it, but I want to collect the series because I enjoyed the anime so much. And I think the second season is coming out this year or next year. But yeah, I wanted to pick up the manga, and it's so hard to find at the moment. But I heard from a few people, the kiosk people, they said that they're going to start getting it back in stock again. But yeah, when I found out this was from the same mangaka, I had to get it, and it's very similar. very similar. Very dark, very comedic, and at some points even wholesome. And the art is so scary. Like it's crazy. It's a lot of blood, a lot of guts. It's pretty awesome. You get a nice juxtaposition of the horror and the comedy elements. And I don't know if the mangaka is actually a male or female. Not that it matters, because I think a lot of people speculate that it's a female, but I don't think it's actually been officially announced. Not that it really matters at all. But I just think it's interesting that we read a lot of action series, and when you read something like this, you just assume it's created by a male, and if it's not, it makes you wonder what kind of sick twisted mind they have. Oh, I actually missed a couple of series. I've had The Promised Neverland almost completed for a while now. I was missing some of the middle volumes, so 12, 13, 18, 19, and 20. I read the anime. I watched the anime season 2, and I think the ending of it is exactly the same as what it is in chapter 20 in volume 20. But from what I understand, they missed out a huge chunk from like volume 15 to 19. They just like scrapped everything, which is a bit of a shame. But I've probably ruined the series for myself, or the ending at least. But I'm looking forward to reading it from beginning to end, just to see how far they messed up. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people who have the Gundam Origin mangas. They look beautiful. The more I look at my collection, the more I'm disappointed with it, because a lot of it is just white. A lot of the spines are just white and plain with just the text of the series, which I don't know. I want to have more bright and colorful and different manga series on my shelf. The Gundam mangas are quite rare to find, though, aren't they? But yeah, I think maybe because this is Seven Seas, the Dark, which is why they have a lot of they tend to, most of the series I think I have of Seven Seas have a couple of color pages at the front, and I think even in the middle, I'm sure one of them had a color page. Maybe not. Maybe I'm lying. And then I picked up Cool Girl from Another World just because it was there and it was cellophane, and I wanted to pick up something that was shrink wrapped. And this was the only thing that they had. They had a volume of Golden Kamui, but I picked this one up just because, I don't know, I'm a male. I like boobs. And I tried to pre-order Taiyo Matsumoto's number 5, volume 2, but they cancelled it on me. Luckily, when I went to Forbidden Planet, they had volume 2 and volume 3. I know a lot of people have been having their orders cancelled for volume 3 as well from Amazon. These have really beautiful art front covers, and they span. They got, I don't know what it's called. It's a fairy flap. Is it a fairy flap? I don't think it's called a fairy flap. But yeah, this has beautiful cover art. I don't really want to spend anything, but look at that. One big long art piece. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now I have to put it back very delicately. Yes, I got volume 2 and 3, and I think now volume 4 is the last one, because these are omnibuses. These are 2-in-1s. So hopefully volume 4 will come out soon and I'll be able to get my hands on it. I've read the first volume. I didn't know what I was going to expect. The art is so out there. It's so psychedelic. It's absolutely crazy. I've never read anything that looks like this before. A lot of the stuff I read is normally clean or just really messy. And this is just a mixture of both. Oh, it's readily available? And I'm guessing they don't often do deals that often. Is Blue Giant any good? Is that the No, I'm thinking Blue Period is the painting one. Which one is Blue Giant? Oh, it's the jazz one. Is that right? Jazz one? That's pretty good. They're 2-in-1s, aren't they? But yeah, this is really good. Really enjoying it. Nice little like assassin kind of series with like the main guy on the run from this organization that he's abandoned, which I don't know why, but he's kind of just killing everyone at the moment. Where are we? Is Blue Period good though? I've heard mixed results for Blue Period. I've heard people say only good things about Blue Giant and Blue Lock, but I've heard some people say that they couldn't get into Blue Period. But to be fair, the people who have said that did watch the anime instead of reading the manga. If I can find Blue Giant, I'll give it a read. I don't think I've got enough space on my desk. Then I picked up one volume of Hell's Paradise. Look at that. That is disgusting. I didn't realize until, I don't know if it was my suitcase that I stuck it in that made it all crumpled, but it looks like there was water damage, and it's the only volume that's like this. I think I may have picked up a defective one, sadly. A little bit annoying, and I didn't realize until after I'd left, and I don't know if they would take it back. Well, that does have the original sticker, and I do have the receipt for it. But then what would they do with it? Would they discount it? I don't know. But yeah, I have volume 4. I'm still waiting for volume 3 to come available. I really need to, I think I'll just have to bite the bullet and buy some of the current series that are out. No, 7, 8, 9, well, not 7, 7's not available. 8, 9, 10, 11, because at some point when the anime comes out, I think they're just going to disappear. Same with Chainsaw Man and Spy X Family. And then this, I think, brings me fully up to date with Golden Kamuy. Now, volume 6, 7, 8 were really hard to find. I think I got volumes 9 and 22 as well, but they are not here. They're somewhere in my shelf, and I don't know where they are. Actually, I lie. I do know where they are. right there. I'm too lazy to go pick them up. And then volume 12, 16, 23, 24, and 25. I've been looking to reread this series for such a long time. I picked up volumes 1 to 5 when the first anime dropped, and then I put all my manga into hiding for like 3 years. And then when I got it out again, I couldn't find any of the volumes. Everything had been sold out. But the lady who served me most of these volumes, she said that they're currently restocking these. So I should be able to get, I think I actually am missing one volume. I think volume 17. That is the only volume that I'm missing. So I can pick that up before I start this one. Probably next month. Ah, so the people who went to art school didn't like it. Maybe they're pompous, or maybe they're just upset that it's not accurate. Or it opens up old wounds. RCK, how's it going? Any recommendations for single manga? Depends what you're into. But also, no, because I don't have a lot of manga that is just single volume. I think most of my stuff minimum is 4 or 5 volumes. But yeah, I don't think I have anything that is single. I only have one. It's called Stargazing Dog, and it's quite a sad series. And I don't know if I would want to recommend it to someone. It was very good. It was just very emotional, very sad. I'm also, I think it's pretty rare as well. You picked up Pink. What's Pink? Let me have a look. And what I'll do, I'll probably stick it on my recommended. Oh, wow. That is very interesting art. I like it. They have it on Amazon. Is it good? I'll stick it on my basket. Is that really classed as a single though? Because that volume of Solomon is thick. It's like it's massive. It's huge. It's a big boy. The same with Uzumaki as well. That's also huge. But I guess they are single volumes, aren't they? I'll have a look at Pink then. When I was younger, I was very much into just the art style. And if I looked at Pink, like when I was younger, I would have said, no, it's going to be terrible. I'm not going to enjoy it. But as of late, I'm more into the story. I don't really care too much what the series looks like. I've already read Solomon. Well, it looks like you should be recommending me single volumes. What I'll do, I have my manga spreadsheet up here. Recommendations. Let me put Pink. Done. Now, I don't know how to get rid of this. That's not what I want. Real color. Oh well. We have a couple more volumes left. I picked up Witch Hat Altia. I think that's how you say it, Altia. This was another one where I went to the Forbidden Planet, and pretty much everything that they had, I already had on me. I just bought that day, or I already had in stock on my shelf. Everything else I didn't really want to pick up, so I kind of just picked this one up just because it was there. I've been wanting to pick it up for a while, and I found out today that it's actually getting an anime adaptation. So hopefully these ones don't go out of stock, because to be fair, every time I go to the comic book store, they've got copies of these. But who knows? Maybe they'll go out of print at some point, out of stock at some point. And then I picked up Alice in Borderland. Volume 2 just got announced as well. I don't know anything about this one. I heard it's nothing to do with Alice in Wonderland. It's just the name of the title. Is Witch Hat good? See, I've only ever heard good things about it, which sometimes really scares me when when people are only talking good things about a series. It kind of worries me a little bit. But the art is beautiful. I love Kodansha books. They're so big and they're so floppy. So when you read them, the pages just fall apart. Sometimes I'm prying Viz books open. They're just difficult. Well, it sounds like I picked up a good one then. But can you tell me if this is any good? That's the question. I've heard a lot of people talk about the anime, which I think concluded quite a few of the volumes. And we've only recently just got this. Hopefully it's good. Really cool use of magic, yeah? Alright, maybe I'll just go ahead and buy the rest of the volumes of Witch Hat. And then the last volume that I picked up was Doro Heidoro. And as I mentioned earlier, I kind of regret getting this one because this was the only volume available. They had 3 or 4 volumes of the series, and that was it. They didn't have anything else. So I picked up this just because I did enjoy the anime, but as it stands, I think it's very, very hard to come by. Maybe one day I'll collect the rest of it, but maybe it was the wrong time to start picking up Doro Heidoro. Does it say what? Oh, there we go. Oh, wow, it's on its 8th printing. It came out 2010. This is super old. Yeah, it's on its 8th printing, so I can understand why it's so difficult to find. All right, and that was everything. As I mentioned, I do have volumes 9 and 22 of Golden Kamuy over there. I don't know if I can zoom in. Is there a zoom button? Doesn't zoom all that much. Maybe Alice in Borderland isn't the one then. Because I find if you can get sidetracked by anything else, it kind of shows that it's not as good. Because I picked up all these series in like a couple of days, and these were all in my boot. Not in my boot, in my suitcase. And when I started Chainsaw Man and Die Dark, I couldn't put them down. I could have started any of the other series that I started. I could have continued some of the series that I was picking up, but I couldn't put down Chainsaw Man and I couldn't put down Die Dark. But yeah, I find if a series is like kind of not doing it for me, and I then get distracted with not necessarily just reading other manga, but just doing something else, I kind of just fall off and put it to one side indefinitely. To be fair, I haven't read a lot of death game type series. What did I think the last thing I read or watched was Future Diaries, Mirai Nikki. Mason Ikoyu. Let me have a look. This one? Where's she? A housewife? Yo, it's super old. Has it just started to come out? Or just recently published? I'll stick it on the list. Bop, bop. Bop, 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 bop. Definitely know by the first volume. Alright, that's fine. I think these are 2-in-1s, the Alice in Borderland as well. Oh, we got a new release with Viz signature. I'll definitely check it out then. It says it's seinen. Looks like a slice of life. But I'll give it a shot. I've stuck it on the recommendation now. Okay. Now that I've done that, now I have to do the tedious part. I have to update the list. Annoyingly. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so this is going to be the long part. First thing first, I need to get these all off my desk. Here we go. Let's quickly change this. All right. Now it's time to update. Okay, so let me just start grabbing volume. So I got, actually, before I do that, I want to check. So I have a total of 575 volumes. And I've read just under 40% of my entire collection. Now, when I update all these volumes, this is going to reduce it probably down to 33% or something. So let's start. Let's go right here. Doro, hey, Doro. There are how many volumes? 23. 23 volumes. I own one. I've read none. And I need 2 onwards. It is finished and I've not started it. Alright, that's 1. Then we got Comey Can't Communicate. There's 70 volumes. This is volume 3 and 4. That puts me up to 4. So I need 5 onwards. I've not started this one yet. And then Chainsaw Man. I don't think I've updated Chainsaw Man for a while. Alright, so I own 9 volumes. I think there's 10 in total. And I've read all 9. So 10 onwards. Ongoing. I'll just put up to date. Because although I am missing volume 10, 10's not available yet in the UK. And then I have some Spy X Family. That is volume... Where are we? Spy X Family, volume 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I think volume 7 is out now. But I've not started it, so it doesn't really matter. I should really take off all these stickers as well. Maybe next time. And then I have One Punch Man and Dragon Ball. So this is 13, 14, 10, 13, and 14. So D for Dragon Ball Super. So it's 10, 13, 14. So I got all these. Then I have 4 volumes of Nisekoi. Nisekoi. So I have actually up to volume 16, 7. So this is Martial Magic and Muscles. Currently 5 volumes. I have the first 4. I've read 2. I need 5 onwards. It is OG for ongoing, and I'm behind. Wow, I think my percentage is going to go down a lot quicker than I think it is. Let's get Undead Unluck. Was there 8 volumes of this? 10. That's in Japanese. March, 6 volumes. Dead Unluck. 6 volumes. And I have 1. So 2 onwards. Ongoing. Not yet started. Then B for Burn the Witch. Burn the Witch. 110. I'm just going to put 2. Actually, I'm going to leave it as is. I don't even know if there will be a volume 2. I haven't opened it yet. I'm just going to leave it as ongoing for now. Not started. Alright. Witch Hat. Witch Hat. How'd you spell Altia? Atelier. Not Altia. Atelier. There are how many? I do not know. 10? No. 8. Because I think I saw volume 10 had only just been released. Oh, there's 8 volumes. Well, there's 9 in Japan. Cool. So let's look at 8. I have 2. I've read none. Ongoing. Not started. And then this should be everything for Promised Neverland. So I have 12, yep, 13, 18, 19, and 20. Ooh. That's everything. So I own all of them, and I've not started yet. You know, I might start this next month, as well as Golden Kamuy. Ugh. Let's find Golden Kamui. So I got 6, 7, 8. Yep, 12, 16. I didn't get 17, so I'm still missing 17. And I've just got volume 25. Right, so that is the next volume I need to pick up in a couple of weeks. And then we have Die Dark. Three, 3, and 3. Let's put 4 plus. OG for ongoing. Today. Then I have Toilet Bound. Toilet Bound. Anako. I spelled it wrong. How many volumes are there? Do not know. Toilet Bound. There we go. Hanako-kun. Wow, 17. Hopefully it finishes soon. Let's... 13. So I have 2. What was that? I have... I guess it's 14 if you include 0. And I have 3. 3 onwards. Ongoing. Not started. Alright, last few. Hell's Paradise. That is somewhere here. So I only have 3 volumes. I have volume 3 to collect and then 5 onwards. Although I would love to have another volume of volume 4 because my one is total mashup. Tai Matsumoto's number 5. Where are you? I'm going to stick at 3. I have 3. plus. Ongoing, not yet started. Okay, and now I need to organize this. 77, which means this is 77. This can all be moved up. Just make sure these are being... All right. I think they're all being allocated accordingly. Status, up to date. That is the same. These are all the same, which isn't good. No, wait, that is correct, isn't it? 75. Oh, that's wrong. That means something is here not filled in. Or up to date, not started, finished, behind. Oh, that's why. 81. How is that possible? How can I have 77 series? But then 81 listed here. That doesn't make any sense. Right, that is C, which is that one. Owned. Is that one. 632. My shelf can only hold another 68 volumes. It holds around 700 books. I'm If it says so, then it is. Man, I did my comment section earlier and I've already got 2 more comments. I'm going to have to reply to those as soon as possible. But it is now time for me to end because I've been streaming for a long time. How long have I been streaming for? I don't think it even tells me. I can't even tell how long I've been streaming for. 2 hours. 2 hours nearly. That is crazy. But if you are here, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for chilling with me. RCK, much appreciated. Born Hitman, I'm going to be ordering Drifting Dragons Volume 3 very shortly. If you are still here, I've just dropped a new video. It's just a small little manga haul. Mostly Kingdom Hearts stuff. But yeah, this has been fun. If you want to watch the video, you can. You don't have to, but I would very much appreciate it if you did. If you just clicked on it, just watched it all the way through, you don't have to pay attention. Just leave it on in the background. Maybe give it a like if you're interested in seeing more. But yeah, again, you don't have to. But it makes me feel happy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've got so much manga to organize onto my shelf. I don't think I'm going to make it all. Yeah. I need to get a new shelf. Because this is a bit stuffy. It's got 3 layers, so you can have this One Piece volume shelf. It's got a volume, I think it's got like 30 or 40 volumes at the back, 40 volumes in the middle, and then the remainder here. Asake, that was much appreciated. Thanks for enjoying the stream. It was 2 hours too long, if you ask me. But it was fun. I had a good time, and I hope you did too. Born Hitman, we're going to be in talk soon because I'll look into some of the comic book stuff. Have you caught up to date with Drifting Dragons? Have you read a lot of it? Yeah, I think I'm going to stick some into my basket this evening. I'll look at the wallet and see what it says. All right, I'm out. Thank you very much for sticking around. And yeah, I will see you next time.